Over the past week or two, pretty much every video on this channel has been about player movement, whether that is a trade or a free agency signing, and while I do really like talking about current events and news around the NHL, I wanted to change things up for today's video, and it's been a while since I've done something like this. In the past, we've made videos where we took a look at the previous 10 Hobey Baker Award winners and looked at where they are right now. We've also done the past 10 CHL Player of the Year Award winners, and you guys really seemed to enjoy them and showed a lot of support on those videos, so today we are going to do something similar and take a look at the past 10 OHL MVPs and see where they're at right now in 2020. Before we go any further, you guys know the drill by now. Be sure to go follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay connected. You can also go check out my gaming channel. NHL 21 is coming out in a couple of days, so expect a lot of content over there. If you're interested in any of that, links will be down below in the description. And of course, if you guys are new to this channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and now let's begin. The winner of the OHL's Most Outstanding Player Award in 2011 was defenseman Ryan Ellis of the Windsor Spitfires. He is actually the last defenseman to win the award, which is pretty impressive, and I'm sure you're all familiar with Ryan Ellis due to the NHL career he's had up until this point, but man was he a different beast in junior, leading the Windsor Spitfires to back-to-back Memorial Cups in 2009 and in 2010. Although they weren't able to three-peat in 2011, it was still an incredible season for Ryan Ellis, the icing on the cake for a fantastic career with the Windsor Spitfires. In 58 games, Ryan Ellis put up 24 goals and 77 assists for 101 points, also posted 19 points in 18 playoff games, becoming one of only 10 defensemen in the history of the Ontario Hockey League to score 100 points in a single season. He was well deserving of being named the OHL's Most Outstanding Player. On top of that, he was also the recipient of the Canadian Hockey League Player of the Year Award. So where is Ryan Ellis right now? Well, of course, you guys should already know this. Ever since the 2015-16 season, Ryan Ellis has been a top 25 to 20 defenseman in the entire NHL, and in the 2019-20 season, he actually put up the highest points per game of his entire career. Safe to say Ryan Ellis has been pretty successful in both junior and in the NHL. The winner of the award in 2012 is actually somebody a lot of you may have never even heard of, goaltender Michael Houser, who won the OHL's Most Outstanding Player as a member of the London Knights. I'll be honest, up until doing the research for this video, I had never heard of him. Michael Houser finished the 2011-12 season with a ridiculous 46-15-1 record, a .925 save percentage, and a 2.47 goals against average. These numbers were way up from the previous 2 seasons he spent with the London Knights, where in both of those he had an above 3 goals against average. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Michael Houser here, because obviously he was a big reason why the London Knights were so good in that season, but that was an absolutely stacked team. A team that included a lot of names I'm sure you're familiar with, like Vladislav Nemestikov, Max Domi, Andreas Athanasiou, and Josh Anderson. Surprisingly, after a season like that, he didn't really get a lot of recognition, obviously aside from winning the OHL's Most Outstanding Player Award. He's actually the only player in this video we're going to talk about that was never drafted. So where is Michael Houser now? Well, he actually never even wound up playing a single game in the NHL. He has had a couple of short stints in the American Hockey League, but pretty much from 2012 up until now, he's been an ECHL level goaltender. However, he has enjoyed a lot of success at the ECHL level, only finishing a season with a negative record once, and that was all the way back in 2013-14, and he's posted a save percentage above .915 4 different times. So although he never became an NHL star like a lot of the other players we're going to talk about in this video, he still has had a long professional career. The OHL's Most Outstanding Player from 2013 was Vincent Trocheck. He actually split that season between the Saginaw Spirit and the Plymouth Whalers. Like most other players who wind up having a successful NHL career, Vincent Trocheck was very good every single season he played at the junior level. In his draft plus 1 year, the 2011-12 season, he put up 85 points in 65 games, but the 2012-13 season, he was on a whole other level. After not having scored 30 goals in a single season before this, Vincent Trocheck broke out for a 50-goal, 109-point season. After this, Trocheck was viewed as one of the NHL's best prospects, and while he never really developed into a star caliber player, and while the past couple of years for him haven't really been the greatest, he has still scored 20 20 or more goals in a season 3 times, including a 31-goal, 75-point season for the Florida Panthers in 2017-18. Hopefully this upcoming season for the Carolina Hurricanes, he can bounce back and get healthy and get back to being the player that we know Vincent Trocheck is capable of being. And we should give him the benefit of the doubt because between injuries and being traded, it makes sense as to why we've seen a drop in production from him over the past couple of seasons. The winner of the award in 2014 was Connor Brown, and man, that Erie Otters team, whew. You had Connor Brown, 128 points, Player of the Year. Dane Fox, 64 goals, 107 points. This kid named Connor McDavid, who we'll talk about in a little bit, 99 points in 56 games. Also some other notable names like Andre Burakovsky, Dylan Strome, and defenseman Adam Pelech. That team went 52, 14, and 2. Just ridiculous. When it comes to Connor Brown and winning the award, yeah, that was an incredible season for him. I mean, the season prior to that, he put up 69 points, so he literally doubled that point total in the 2013-14 season, but he definitely benefited from playing with the likes of Connor McDavid and the other players that I mentioned, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Connor Brown. And in terms of where he is now, well, he's became a very useful NHL player. A 20-goal rookie season with the Leafs back in 2016-17, and this year with the Ottawa Senators put up a career-high 43 points in 71 games. Connor Brown definitely is a solid offensive contributor, and on top of that, he has a pretty well-rounded game. Speaking of Connor McDavid, he was the OHL's most outstanding player for the 2015 season. On top of that, he won the Canadian Hockey League Player of the Year award. What really can you say about Connor McDavid that hasn't been said already? 120 points in 47 games. Also a casual 49 points in 20 playoff games. Just insane. He had a 2.553 points per game that season, which is the 7th highest in OHL history by a player in a single season. If you think Connor McDavid makes defenders look silly in the NHL, which he definitely does, watching him play in junior was literally unfair. If you've never watched Connor McDavid Erie Otters highlights, I strongly recommend you do so. So where is Connor McDavid right now? I'm just kidding, I don't even have to say anything. 2016, the award was won by another one of the league's brightest young stars today, Mitch Marner, who won it while playing for the London Knights. And I know I just went on about how insane that Erie Otters team was, but this 2015-16 London Knights team was ridiculous. On top of Mitch Marner and his 116 points, you had Christian Dvorak, who put up 121 points, and Matthew Tkachuk, who put up 107. All three of those players also scored 35 or more points in the playoffs en route to the London Knights winning the Memorial Cup, which for Mitch Marner was definitely a great way to cap off his junior career with the London Knights, which was incredible. The 2014-15 season, the year before he won OHL Player of the Year, he actually put up 126 points in 63 games, and if that's any other year, he probably would have been a 2-time winner of the award if it wasn't for Connor McDavid. And of course, this kind of goes without saying, Mitch Marner was definitely able to carry that success from junior to the NHL. He's been amazing for the Maple Leafs and in my opinion is one of the more exciting players to watch in the entire league. And where is he now? Well, the guy makes almost $11 million a season. I'd say he's doing pretty good. Moving along now to 2017, already the third Erie Otter we have talked about in this video, Alex DeBrincat. 65 goals in the 2016-17 season for the Erie Otters. 65 goals, 127 total points. That was his third consecutive year for the Erie Otters where he broke the 100-point mark. He also led the Erie Otters in playoff scoring. They went all the way, won the Memorial Cup, and overall it was just a ridiculously good season for Alex DeBrincat, and it still blows my mind how this guy was a second-round pick. I was gonna say I don't understand why he was a second-round pick, but I think it has a little something to do with the fact that he's 5'7", but he's one of the many examples in the NHL today that proves size does not matter. The Chicago Blackhawks have to be pretty ecstatic with the way Alex DeBrincat has developed and the player he's turned out to be. This is a guy who's already scored 40 goals in a single season, and although the 2019-20 season wasn't the greatest for DeBrincat with 45 points in 70 games, if that's considered a down year for a 22-year-old, I think you're doing okay. The sky's the limit for DeBrincat. The winner of the award for the 2018 season was Jordan Kyrou. The St. Louis Blues' second-round pick from the 2016 draft put up a 109-point campaign for the Sarnia Sting in 2017-18. Unfortunately, wasn't able to follow up the regular season success with playoff success. It was a pretty disappointing playoff run for Jordan Kyrou and the Sarnia Sting, but overall, it was still a great draft plus 2 year for Jordan Kyrou, and after winning the award, he was viewed as one of the best prospects affiliated with an NHL team. Since then, Kyrou hasn't really been able to break into the NHL full time. He has put up really good numbers in each of the stints he's had in the American Hockey League, but we're all still kind of waiting for him to break out at the NHL level. In my opinion, this upcoming season is going to be huge for Jordan Kyrou. If he struggles to make the St. Louis Blues again and spends a lot more time in the American Hockey League, then I would start to get a little bit worried, but he is only 22 years old, and you have to remember he's on a team like the St. Louis Blues, and it's a lot harder to break into a lineup like that than, say for instance, if he was a prospect of a team like Detroit, where he would probably already be a top 9 forward. Continuing on now, the OHL's most outstanding player from the 2018-19 season, goaltender from the Sudbury Wolves, Pekka Lukanen. Try saying that one 10 times fast. I'm not really the greatest with the Finnish name, so hopefully I didn't butcher that, but Lukanen had an incredible 2018-19 season with the Sudbury Wolves and was well deserving of this award. A 38-11-2 record, a .920 save percentage, and a 2.50 goals against average. And it's not like the Sudbury Wolves were some incredibly stacked team either. The leading scorer for that year's Sudbury Wolves, a 16-year-old Quinton Byfield. Lukanen was the biggest reason why they were a good team. He accounted for 38 of their 43 wins. Like I said, extremely well deserving of the award. So where is this guy now? Well, he was actually a second-round pick by the Sabres back in the 2017 NHL draft, so he is a prospect of Buffalo. Pekka Lukanen played in 10 American Hockey League games in the 2019-20 season, struggled a little bit, had just an .874 save percentage and a 3-4-3 record, but he was extremely steady in the ECHL for the Cincinnati Cyclones, playing in 23 games, a 12-7-3 record, and a .912 save percentage. He's only 21 years old, and for a goaltender that is extremely young, I would definitely say he's at least 2 to 3 years out from pushing for an NHL spot, but Pekka Lukanen is definitely a solid prospect, and who knows, maybe one day he'll be the guy in net for the Buffalo Sabres. And now the final player we're going to talk about in today's video, the 2020 Ontario Hockey League most outstanding player, Marco Rossi. Somebody I'm sure you've all heard a lot about leading up to the NHL draft. He was an absolute monster this season for the Ottawa 67s in 56 games, 39 goals, 81 assists for 120 points, leading the OHL in scoring. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see him and the Ottawa 67s go to work in the playoffs due to the virus and everything, but it is what it is. So where is Marco Rossi now? Well, he is a 9th overall pick by the Minnesota Wild in the 2020 NHL draft, and I said this in my review of the draft, I was really surprised Marco Rossi was still available at number 9. I think the Minnesota Wild got a steal here. Heading into the draft, with the 4th overall pick, I wanted the Red Wings to either select Lucas Raymond, who they wound up taking, or Marco Rossi. I'm a huge fan of his game. I think he has the potential to be an elite playmaker in the NHL. Only time will tell how Marco Rossi will turn out for the Minnesota Wild, but if I had to make a prediction, I think this guy's going to be amazing. That is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. It was nice to get back to doing a video like this after talking about so many trades and free agency signings and stuff like that. If you have any suggestions for videos you want to see on the channel, be sure to let me know down in the comments section. I'm always open to hearing your guys' ideas. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you again soon.